Hey everybody, Sean here. Just want to give a fair warning on this episode. We're talking about 28 years later. I think my intention was to start out kind of spoiler free, but it was just an emergency pod. We hopped on as soon as we both saw it, and everything, everything spills out. So, if you haven't seen it and you want to be surprised, do not listen to this episode because I don't know when it starts, but it starts earlier than expected. So, and I do think I say that there's a spoiler warning in it. But yeah. Anyway, enjoy this episode.
Hooray for Hollyweird! Emergency episode!
And it's so good.
I got a bone to pick.
Which side are you on? Are you on a bone to pick? We got an emergency pod. Listen, it's supposed to be the end of Shark Month, which it is the end of Shark Month. What did we else left? What else did we have to say? You know,
I was a little devastated.
I know you were, but did you have anything prepared?
Of course not.
Okay, so
Maybe because we still need to do. Check out Patreon in the next few weeks. We'll get something out. We'll resolve it on Patreon.
Yeah. That's what I was actually going to suggest is we do finish up the shark stuff on Patreon. But we had a little movie come out since we last recorded. A little flick by the name of 28 Years Later dropped. I get a text in the middle of the night from Lexie Moyer saying, what did you exactly? You said you have to, Sean, you have to see 28 Years Later, or I need you to see 28
Yeah.
Years Later. And hey, she says jump. I say, how high, brother? So I went and
That's
checked
not
it out.
true. Every time I see a movie, I'm like, you need to go see this.
Well, half of them I know are bullshit. So that's part of the problem. Part of the problem is, yeah, you're like, this is the best. This Scout Taylor Compton shark movie is the greatest film of all time. God. A running bit where we always bleep out her name. It's been like 3 weeks in a row now.
That's actually so funny.
So she said you have to see 28 Years Later. We kind of talked about it on the last episode, conveniently enough. And so I went and saw it, and I immediately texted Lexi and was like, it's over. We have to talk about this fucking movie right now, immediately. So we have not spoken about this movie up until this moment. So part of me wants to kind of talk about 28 Days Later and then move into this, right? So
Okay.
28 Days Later, you mentioned it last week. You were like, when was the last time you saw that? It's pretty fucking rough. It is. I rewatched it before I saw it. But I love that. I love the way it looks. I love it so much.
So that's okay. Why? A restoration is certainly possible in 2025. Do you think they're actively avoiding one because it's part of 28 Days Later? Or do you think...
Yeah, no. So they used a prosumer DV camera from that time period. So that was very on purpose. They hyper contrasted it, or would it be, did they saturate it? I don't know. And then they put a ton of sharpening on the image. So that's what gives it that static effect. So it's
I've been
grainy, but
guilty of
it's
that
not.
a time or two.
Hey, yo. I need a
Well,
Hachi Machi button. I'm
I
making
just
a
put it...
soundboard.
We should have had one the first time I ever did an episode. Oh my God, the things we could fucking do. Come on. But I put it on and got halfway through right before we recorded. I always forget that Cillian hangs dong in it.
Hey, this motherfucker, Danny Boyle, loves dong so much.
He does.
He 28 dongs later, brother. years I mean, there's a decent amount of dong besides Cillian. What else? I think there's some other naked peeps in that one too. But boy, 28 years later, he was like, hey, amp up everything. And they're like, oh yeah, like the gore and the violence. And he's like, the dicks, baby.
The
And
dicks.
crank that knob up to 11. And I want one with a giant prosthetic on it.
Dude, fucking insane. But it's so funny. I was wondering, I almost posted a poll on my Instagram about this. Did Killing become fuckable after 28 days later? Peaky Blinders or Oppenheimer? When did the public decide that like Cillian Murphy was so fuckable?
I'll tell you my answer.
Okay.
It is 28 days later. I thought he was like the coolest motherfucker in the world. And then when he did Batman Begins, like a little bit after,
Oh,
I think he's in the very beginning. And I was like, holy shit, my guy, my 28 days later boy. I love him. Irish from Cork County, my boy, where my family's from. We might
and
be
so
relatives.
you were like, I would fuck him given the opportunity.
He's not one of those, but I get it. I understand it. But I think 28 days later, I mean, but I was so devastated by Batman Begins because he's in it for like 3 seconds.
Well,
But
he had
yeah,
Red
no,
Eye, but he's not very fuckable in Red Eye.
he's very he had that weird fucking British Hugh Grant haircut,
Yes.
which sucks. No offense to anyone with the British Hugh Grant haircut. It
You
was
look great.
there was just a period where in Britain that was like the number one. You just like went into a barber and you're like, give me the Grant, baby. And they parted it in the middle a little bit, swooped that baby down, and then cut it straight back.
It's fucking insane.
um, yeah, no, he's interesting. Do you think he's attractive though in 28 Days Later or no?
Less and less
heroics,
each
yes.
time I watch it. Less and less each time I watch it.
I mean, he's emaciated. He's a baby.
I mean, he's always emaciated. Here's the thing, right? Killing his uprising to like superstardom, I think was Oppenheimer. Like he wasn't super underground and like I think he was pretty much a household name, but after Oppenheimer, it was like he should have been man of the year after that. Like people were big feeling him. And
Yeah.
I think he's hot in Oppenheimer. But to me, Cillian, and I think this is actually kind of commonly accepted amongst everyone on the internet, it's not so much as his looks, it's his personality.
Right. Well, yeah,
Because
for
me
sure.
too,
I mean,
brother. Like
the looks aren't totally there, you know.
in Oppenheimer, he looks great.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I'm just looking at his. He's funny with his movies because he just like disappears for a while, but he's still working on like these weird little movies and shit.
Well, he's gonna be in oh never mind. That's someone else.
What?
I was gonna say the new Ari Aster movie, but that's Joaquin and Pedro.
Yeah, and I mean we'll be seeing him in January in 28 years.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. But yeah, no. Yeah, Oppenheimer definitely brought him into the like what would you say? Like the public eye, you know, like the real public eye, not the cinephile.
Yeah.
Although
'Cause he's
Peaky
one of-
Blinders too.
I never watched the show, but like everyone I know watched the show.
That was like a big one for him, I think.
Because he's like Christopher Nolan's boy, isn't he?
Yeah, he did Inception too.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And I don't know if that was Christopher Nolan Dunkirk?
I don't fucking know. Probably.
Anyway, Christopher Nolan's a weird guy. So anyway, that's the Cillian talk. So 28 Days Later and 28 Years Later, not written by Danny Boyle, written by a guy by the name of Alex Garland. I was surprised it was the same writer from the first one to the second one.
Yes.
Very surprised. Now, Alex Garland has quite the resume himself. The first movie he ever did was 28 Days Later. He didn't work on 28 Weeks, but he's labeled as an uncredited writer for some reason. He did the Judge Dredd remake, Dredd, in 2012. He wrote and directed Ex Machina. He wrote and directed Annihilation. He wrote and directed Men. He wrote and directed Civil War.
Civil War rocked.
And he wrote and directed Warfare, the new one.
I wanted to fucking see it. I kept missing it. I didn't like Men that much. I think of myself as an Alex Garland fan, though, overall.
Yeah, I do too. I didn't realize what he did. I actually liked Dredd too a lot, and I liked Annihilation. So I was surprised by that, but I was really surprised about him still writing this. Back to the camera thing on 28 Days Later. So they used a prosumer camera, right? DV. That's why it gives it that weird look. It was shot in a bizarre aspect ratio. Are you aware that this movie is filmed entirely on iPhones?
That's not true.
It's 100% true, except for the drone footage and the infrared footage.
That's interesting.
It's fucking crazy.
How is that not more like common knowledge?
I don't know. I think it is out there depending on where you look, because I saw a bunch of articles about it after the fact. But the cinematographer came out and was like, yeah, it was a $75 million movie, and he told us not to use any money on cameras. So we had to use 500 fucking iPhones.
Wait, 28 days or 28 years? What's happening?
28 years. 28 years.
Oh.
28 days later, there were no iPhones.
Okay. Okay, wait, no, that's fucking nutty.
Yeah, 28 Days was shot on prosumer DV, which was like also like something I could go out and buy. And his thought process is he wanted these things to look like what they would be shot on if somebody were filming at that time period. So that was a very explicit look in 28 Days Later with the mini DV. And same thing here where he was like, well, iPhones are the new mini DVs and I want it shot on something that would be like the technology of the time.
I guess I respect that, and that's fun. But can we please get a restoration? Like, listen, I hear you, brother. I hear you. I respect it. You did your thing. I can't watch the movie. I don't know like what's fucking going on, especially in like the dark scenes of 28 Days Later. It's hard.
It's
Danny,
tough.
it's hard.
Tough. It's a look though. It's a look. It's what he wanted.
It blew my mind to find out that Danny Boyle was like 70 years old.
Yes, he's an old man.
In my head, he's like 40.
Well, that's crazy. 28 years or 28 days later is how many years ago was that? 20.
I don't know.
23 years.
Okay.
But yeah, anyway. So there you go. That's our boy. He's he does some like really cool stuff with the iPhones too. He has like this giant like those like circular shots where he they go around the thing. He had this giant circular piece of metal and there was like 100 iPhones on it and they would just run in a circle around him.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah. And one of the other cool things about this was, let me pull up this note because I thought it was interesting. He said, what was wonderful is that you could give the actors the phone and the camera at some points, said Boyle. There's one special shot towards the end of the film where Aaron Taylor Johnson is running, beating against the tide to try to reach his son, but it's too late. And you see for a moment a look on his face as he's running at full speed. Now, you can't do that with conventional cameras because he has to slow down, allow the weight of the crane or the steady cam or whatever it is to try tracking him. It's very, very difficult to get that close and that intense. So thinking about it, it did kind of add to a lot of those scenes because you're so fucking close to him and it's moving so fast. And the whole movie is like warp speed. until a certain point. Which I'm sure we will discuss. Now, let's just say, I was going to say we should save spoilers till the end, but like, let's just do it because I can't. So if you haven't seen it, go see it.
Are we done talking about 28 Days?
Yeah.
Can you tell me, as if I didn't know what the franchise was about,
Mm-hmm.
what's the franchise about?
Well, 28 days later, you have now, by the way, 28 weeks is written off in this one.
Yeah.
Okay. So 28 days later, there's this chemical, it's the rage virus that the scientists are testing on animals. Animal gets loose, spreads the virus. Pandemic all across England, killing everyone, turning them into zombies. Not regenerating the dead, just turning people into rabid monsters.
What are their
Violent rabid monsters.
symptoms?
Vomiting blood,
What else?
red eyes, huge dicks. What? Am I missing something?
I have bad news.
Oh no. Billy Baloney. Oh no, our cherished mascot and Hollyweird correspondent Billy Baloney appears to have contracted the rage virus. And it hasn't spread because Lexie's house is just fucking sick with the fucking rage virus. Everything in the house has it.
I've been waiting for a moment because I worked really hard at this.
How did you even get for those of you, by the way, we should have explained the visual gag. Lexie has our mascot Billy Baloney here, and he's got red eyes. How did you get him on that though?
I drew on paper with red ink and then cut it and then taped it on his eye.
It actually looks pretty good. I gotta give you credit.
I thought about adding like a crazy dick on him, but I didn't.
Yeah. Don't do that, please. 28 years later, 28 dogs later. $60 million budget, currently sitting at $62 million at the box office, which not ideal, but hopefully that picks up.
That's surprising.
I know, because I feel like people are talking about it.
What was your theater experience?
I went late. I went to a 10 o'clock showing, and it was a good experience.
How many people?
Not many, honestly. I could probably count. There was like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It's like 20.
I was by myself. Well, I went to a 3:10 showing on Monday, and I was the only one in the theater, which surprised me.
Do you think more people should be going to see it?
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
is this a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
I'm scared. I don't know how to like structure this with you because you and I haven't talked about it, so I don't know where you are.
I know. That's the fun, baby. That's the fun.
Liked it.
Okay.
I didn't love it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not someone who's precious about 28 Days Later at all. So like I see a lot of people, oh my God, this is so fucking funny. Blair messaged me, listener, bestie bot Blair, messaged me and asked what I thought. And we were talking about it. And she was like, yeah, I really liked it too. And then she was like, it's surprising though, because a lot of people really aren't liking it. And I've been asking around, and Bryant told me that he walked out of the theater.
What? At what point?
I don't know.
Oh my God.
I know. I keep meaning to ask him about that.
I want to like get him on the phone right now.
That's drama
crazy.
queen.
That's crazy.
Even if you fucking love 28 Days Later, I can't imagine. I mean, maybe just too much zombie dong. I could see that being a limit for someone?
No, I mean, there's way more limits crossed in this, which is crazy. The dong, the dong. I mean, the dongs. There was a lot of dong, but who
Talk
gives a fuck?
about a movie that needed to be 3D for once.
Hey yo, yo,
Songs coming straight at you.
that zombie Alpha. Wait, what was his? What was his name though? He had a name.
I don't know. I'm confused about a lot of aspects of this movie.
Oh well, okay. Well, are you gonna ask me how I felt about the movie?
How did you feel about it?
Well, I am precious about 28 Days Later,
Yes.
and I fucking love this fucking movie. I thought this movie absolutely fucking rocked. I thought it was so fucking nuts. And I don't know. I was all on board. I don't know why Danny Boyle. So Danny Boyle, just so you know, FYI, this is supposed to be a trilogy, but Danny Boyle keeps acknowledging in every interview, like, well, we'll see if we ever get to make the third one, which is fucking hilarious. They were filmed at the same time, so the second one's done. They filmed
Yeah.
two right, and is it DeCoste?
I
Is that her
was
name?
so excited when
DaCosta.
I saw that.
Yeah, she's directing the second one.
I was so excited. I was FaceTiming my brother last night and we were talking about it. And I thought Danny was directing all of them, but he said that she
Yeah.
was, and she did the Candyman reboot, which I really fucking love. So I'm
Yep.
excited.
Yeah, no, I am too. But it is a weird thing because they shot them back to back. They never stopped. So like what happens? Danny's like, all right, I gotta go. Here's Nia. Nia. Is it Nia? Naya? Probably Naya.
Yeah, I don't know.
We gotta
should
do our
find
homework
out.
more. We'll find out next week, just like we found out Cillian was Cillian, and we both have corrected ourselves in this episode. Like even the last week we were asking which way it was. We both were like, yep, checked a couple interviews.
Well,
Found that out.
this trilogy thing has really taken flight for some reason that I don't understand. Like all franchises are doing trilogies now. I don't get it. This is, I think, the only franchise that I like wholeheartedly am on board for that.
Yeah, I mean, especially after this one, I think it's fucking awesome. But there's no way they're making a third one, which is a bummer. So, this is at 62 million. It barely made its money back right now. I mean, we're only a few days in, but it's not looking great. And you know, what's the second one going to do? Thankfully, it's already made, but I hope we do get the third one. I'd really, really like to see it. I loved it. Thought it was awesome. Thought it was weird as fuck. I'm trying to. Oh yeah, that's what I was trying to find the alpha zombie's name because he had a silly little name, didn't he?
Well, are there many?
Samson.
That's a dumb name for an alpha zombie.
No, because Samson from the Bible, it's a whole thing. Don't worry about it.
That's me. I don't give a fuck. I am confused about why there are many in alpha, correct?
Yes.
And they all look the same.
No, I think Samson is the only one we see. No, because one gets killed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so I guess they all do look the same. Correct.
And they're fucking?
Apparently so, or she turned while she was pregnant. That is TBD. TBD. I don't think that they are. We're gonna have to get to that in a moment. So again, written by Alex Garland, who is great. Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Goo goo gaga.
It's literally written in my notes. Goo goo gaga. Ralph Fiennes, not a goo goo gaga, but well played, sir. Well, great actor.
Forever a goo goo gaga in our hearts, right? Like, so fucking orange in this movie. It's crazy. And I know that they explain it. I know that. But it doesn't
it's
take
so
away
insane
from
to
how
watch.
orange he is.
No, it's so insane to look at for the duration of the movie. You got this guy, Edvin Riding, who plays the Swedish guy. And I started looking at his credits and I was like, get the fuck out of here. Paddington 1 and 2, Kubo on the strings and the 2 strings, Onward, Doolittle, Don't Look Up. I was like, how is this guy in everything? He wasn't. He did the Swedish dubs.
Oh, take him off your IMDb, bitch.
I was like, that's fucking sick move. I like that. I like that. You got Jodie Comer. Comer?
I barely know her.
Playing the mother. Have you seen what she looks like in real life?
Probably beautiful.
She is a hachi-machi, baby. The makeup for her in this movie is nutso.
There were a couple shots of her where I was like, no, she's hot.
Yeah, she was in Rise of Skywalker, Free Guy, and Bike Riders. Now, next one. This one's a good one. And we'll save who this person is till the end. Sir Jimmy Crystal was played by Jack O'Connell. Do we know who Jack O'Connell is?
We do.
Who?
We don't.
That fucking freak show at the end of the movie is played by the guy that played Remick in Sinners. The Irish vampire in Sinners is Sir Jimmy Crystal.
My boy's got range.
Yeah, that motherfucker got range, baby. I thought the same thing.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I need you to like veer away immediately because I need to talk about the ending, but it needs to come at the end. Like we can't.
I know. That's I'm waiting for that. Okay, so I have a lot of stuff about the ending. Let me see what else I have here. I saw an interview with Alfie and Danny Boyle where they both said E.T. was the movie that they cry at the most.
Oh, me too. I'm just like stars. They're just like us.
Stars, they're just like us. So Alex Garland was like, hey, I wrote this script. He goes to Danny Boyle because they'd been talking about it forever. And Danny Boyle is obsessed with Clockwork Orange. It's the way he shoots shit. There's like a ton of references to it in like Shallow Graves and Sunshine, his other movies.
Have you seen Shallow Graves?
Yes.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Interesting.
But I saw it when I was young and I was like all on board with Danny Boyle because I love Train Spotting and I was like, this is my guy.
Yeah.
So if I looked at it now, it might not be,
Yeah.
Might not be my favorite, Anyway, so he wrote this script that he would described as kind of like where most people would probably take 28 days later. And Danny Boyle's like, no, I don't want to do this. I want to make it a little weirder. So he came up with this movie. And it's pretty fucking weird.
It's funny because the word weird has been thrown around left and right. I feel like I can't take a step without getting hit by it. And that is not an adjective. That would not be one of the first adjectives I use to describe this movie is weird.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm curious why that's the buzzword currently.
Weird. Because it's fucking weird. What do you mean?
Is it though? Or is it just like a rage virus movie, a zombie movie?
No, it's a fucking weird movie, dude. What? Okay,
Talk to me. Tell me why.
All right. Well, so, I mean, it's like weird because I don't know what to do. I don't want to break it down scene by scene. Beginning of the movie is a flashback to the rage virus spreading to Scotland. Scotland Yard. That's not an accent. And we watch a room full of children be slaughtered.
No, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, you missed the beginning?
I told you that.
I didn't know what movie you were going to.
Oh, yeah. My dog was chewing on a fucking ant trap. So I had to call the hotline in the parking
When did
lot
you
of the
walk
movie.
in? When did you walk in?
I walked in before the title card, but I walked in when the priest was like turning or whatever the fuck.
Oh, okay. So you only missed kids being eaten up.
What a shame.
Well, true. Yeah. No. I mean, it was nuts. I had the biggest smile on my face. I was like, wow, here we go. Buckle up. 28 days later, ×2, baby. Let's go. Let's get wild. Let's get weird. And we see this kid somehow survive this like zombie outbreak or whatever. And then we flash forward 28 years later. And we've learned that England is it England or Britain? I don't know, whatever. Has been quarantined, right? No one's allowed. Anyone that was on the island has to fend for themselves. You think the government would just drop some guns in there for them to like help them out, you know?
You think they would just fucking nuke it? That's what I was confused about because when the army Swedish dubber guy comes in and he has the iPhone and shit, it's like, what the fuck are we doing? And then he's talking about delivery drivers, and the kid's like, what's a delivery driver? I was
I
like,
was so
wait, so
sick.
the rest of the world is just like normal in this
Yeah.
universe now? I don't
That's
think I
always
love that though.
but it makes perfect sense. They're on fucking island.
I suppose, but in 28 days later, they said, like, before the broadcast cut off, there were reports of infection in New York City and Paris, like, right before the broadcast cut out.
Did it? I don't think
Yeah,
that's true.
I swear to God, because I just watched it. That was, like, the last scene I watched before I, like, popped on here.
And the only person that got infected was John Hughes.
Too soon. Boo.
We're not bringing it back. All right, fine. We're not bringing it back.
No,
No,
it's not that. It's just too soon.
I don't remember him. I don't remember that happening in that because it felt like it was isolated to that island for me because you see the plane, you know,
Yeah.
in it. So to me, it always felt like, yeah, it was just on this island. There was no way for it to really go out. And the other cool thing about this disease, if you want to call it a disease, it's not, I guess it's like an infection or something, was that it truly could be contained pretty easily. You know what I mean? Like you see a guy throwing up red stuff, let's, tie him up and put him to bed. You know? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's
I
no
just
incubation period. You turn in 15 to 20 seconds.
Yeah, I always feel kind of like a fucking asshole being like, but what about when you're talking about a movie? It's like none of it's fucking real. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true.
But that being said, when I watched it, I was like, wait, what? How did they fucking like get it quarantined to this single island? And then when I was just rewatching 28 Days and they mentioned New York and Paris, I was like, are they just retconning that too? Because I don't care. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, clearly they did.
But like,
Well, I mean, maybe not. I mean, New York is also an island. Maybe that's
oh,
quarantined. Ooh,
maybe.
maybe that's the
Well,
next one.
would love it. John Hughes comes back.
To direct the comedy of it. The Boner Temple.
But so what's the fucking monkey's here. Rafiki just said hello. So they're on this island. This main kid has been born since his parents have been quarantined, right?
Yeah, he's 12.
Like he doesn't know a life other than this.
Not at all.
But he knows that the rest of the world is like fine.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he does. Cause they look at the boat, like the quarantine boat
Okay.
as it's going by. So yeah, he's aware,
Oh, it sucks.
which is crazy.
It's what it feels like to have depression.
So so we go from that fast forward, we go to this island that is living very rurally, farming their own shit. They are walls all around, nothing can get in, and they very quickly explain to us that there's like a walking path from the island to the mainland, and you can only go through during low tide. I like it. I kind of dig it. I don't know.
really
I don't
like
think it's
that.
real. I don't think it's real at all, but I do think it's fun.
Well, how could it be? Dude, Alpha immediately shows us that he's able to cross. At first, I was like, "Oh, can the zombies, like, not be in water?" No, they can.
Well, they can, but as they explained, once the high tide gets higher, you're swept out because the currents are so strong.
Oh, is that
So, like,
supposed
if
to,
they
like, happen?
yeah, I think if that like, I think if the alpha had gotten to the door, it would have been, like, wiped out by high tide eventually. Like, if they were all, like, on it, like, trying to get in,
Ye
they would get wiped out by high tide. So, yeah, so you have this, like, enclosed town where they bring out the little lads out for a hunt, their first hunt, to hunt, the zombies. Now
Well, oh,
oh, yes,
another
you
question.
go. Yeah.
Another question I have is when
Mhm.
they said they were going to the mainland, I assumed they were going to get, like, supplies or something. No, they were just hunting zombies?
Yeah, so I'm sure you could I could come up with an explanation for it. However, that explanation does not mean that it's real or anything. But yeah, no, it's so fucking weird because I thought the same thing. Like you would only do this to get shit to bring back. This trip they get a frisbee, which goes over like fucking hotcakes, baby. Everyone's freaking about the frisbee. um, but no, yeah, that was super fucking weird to me. But he did mention that, like, he's like, when you get older, you're gonna come over here to get resources like wood and all that shit. So they definitely go over to do that and send out like foraging camps to like go get shit. So maybe this is like the training in order to start doing jobs like that. You have to be able to like go out there and like kill these things. Um,
Yeah.
Regardless, it seems fucking insane to do. And by the way, his son is 12 and everyone's like, "Hey, he's way too fucking young for this." And he's like, "It's fine." And guess what? He's way too fucking young to be doing
Oh my
that.
god. It's like if you took your son.
My son's the same age. He would just be like, "Just kill me. We're not surviving." And they barely do.
Yeah. Dude, that would be so scary.
I would be the scariest. And dude, this okay. How effective, let's say the first half up until they visit the doctor, how effective was that movie for you?
Very.
Dude, I was like, fucking, like, my heart rate was up. Like, I was fucking tense the whole movie. Like, tense. Like, it gave me real fucking feelings.
I gotta interject because I just remembered this in the movie. What's up with the fat ones that crawl?
The little sluggers. Well,
Yeah.
they somebody asks that in the movie too, and I don't think we even get an answer to it. They're like, he's like, yeah, some people say, and I forget what he said about them, but he's like, some people say, he's like, why are they different? And I forget what the answer was.
It's
Um,
a bizarre choice to include that. Okay, I guess I get the weird thing more.
and they eat worms
Yeah, and I
and are shot
and
in like 3 frames per second, so it looks like stop motion.
yes, and then the son is like stops his dad from killing presumably a child one, and the kid just like runs off. I don't. There. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I've warmed to it. This movie is just fucking weird.
It's so fucking weird. And it's fucking awesome though. But again, to your point of like 28 days later, it is like kind of like fucks you up because in 28 days later, it ends, not just ends. There is an idea floated where they're like, we're gonna see how long it takes for them to starve to death. And the
Mhm.
end of the movie, we see some of them starving. And I always loved that. I was like, man, that fucking
Yeah.
rocks. Like, there is a timetable for this, just like any other disease or whatever. Like, eventually these things become weak and just turn into fucking dog shit. And I loved that about the first one. That's fucking gone, man. There ain't no one to eat on this island left. And these motherfuckers are thriving.
And not only are there not people, there are millions of gazelle running about.
Ooh, the gazelle count in this movie is crazy.
How
So
are
many
those
gazelle,
babies living?
so many gazelle that they fucking shake a house to its foundation.
The sound design of that was crazy.
Oh, dude, what kind of theater did you see it in? Did you just see it in like a regular
Yeah.
thing? I saw it on the XD in Cinemark. my fucking body was like fucking shaking during these scenes. The fucking bass was fucking nuts, and the screams.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Well, I didn't see it in XD, but it was obviously engineered so that you would feel Gazelle running around you, even if you were in a regular theater. I was like, "The fuck is going on out there? Like, what is happening right now?"
It's fucking Iran, baby.
But it's interesting, like, why are there so many animals alive? Bless them, love it, but wouldn't the zombies be devouring each and every one of them?
For sure, for sure. But, they regenerate fast.
Sure.
But apparently zombies regenerate also because we find a pregnant zombie in this movie. The question
That
was she knocked up when she turned? Was she knocked up as a zombite?
that whole scene, it didn't take me out of the movie whatso-fucking-ever, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I see some discourse happening being like, "Was it absurd?" Absolutely. Did it fit tonally with everything else? Yeah, it was fine. It didn't, you know what I
It
mean? Like, it didn't.
I was fucking totally fine with it. I was like, this fucking rocks.
Pretty
'Cause
goofy.
wait, but here's the other thing. Here's the other thing. And I don't know what the discourse is out there, but like if one of the issues with that is like the zombie like using the mother as a doula while she gives birth
Dude.
and like holding her hands. If that is an issue with people, I'm gonna take exception to it because in 28 Days Later, the zombie that they like keep on the grounds of the military base, the one that they have chained up, that Cillian sets free at the end, it was like kind of not fully, but there was like moments where you were like, are Cillian and him like having like a moment where they're like, go on, go kill those fuckers.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure them being sentient might be explored further in the next one. But yeah,
I mean,
I don't know.
I think there's moments in desperation for these things where they might be like, got you. Cause like I feel like there's like a little subtle nod of the zombie to Cillian after Cillian frees him, where he's like, right on, right on, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. People were really mad about the whole doula situation.
I liked it. I liked it. And she came when she was back to being a zombie, you
Well,
know? It
and
wasn't like she was like, thanks.
here's my perspective on it. I'm a hater, wholeheartedly. I love talking shit. But when it comes to something like this, it was written and directed by the people who made the original movie. They can do whatever the fuck they want. It's theirs. You know,
Agreed.
if it were someone else, I would be more so like, "The fuck are we doing?" But it's like, no, this is their world. They created it. They can do what they want.
I am with you 100%. And clearly almost no studio involvement, if any, because this would not have been released if a studio got Final Cut. Just an FYI. So, more power to him. There was definitely no involvement. This is Danny Boyle's baby. You could fucking see it. It's fucking crazy. I saw an interview with Danny Boyle. Some guy, I don't know if I should say the name, but he's a YouTube guy. Brandon Davis. He did an interview with him, and he was like, I can't believe your movies won awards before it came out. And Danny Boyle was like, what are you talking about? Like, he was very confused. He's like, you won. And he was being sincere. Like, he wasn't even being like, that's funny. He was like, you won't believe it. You won Best Voiceover and Best Trailer at the Golden Trailer Awards. And Danny Boyle is the nicest fucking guy and just humors him and is like, oh, wow. That's great. I was like, dude.
You know who that reminds me of?
I can take a guess. God.
Could see it immediately. 100%. I 100%. Absolutely.
Oh, very cool. Yeah. That's really funny. Oh shit. Anyway, so yeah, Danny's a good dude. Uh, so yeah, so you have this. The alphas too are terrifying. One of the things that held my suspense was when they get locked into this house and the alpha's just standing on the fucking hill, staring at them all night. Dude,
That
that's fucking
wasn't
scary.
super effective for me. That didn't do a lot for me.
It bugged me out.
That's what my brother said too, though.
Yeah, I think it's like that thing where I've talked about it on the show. Like my greatest fear is a naked, not even a naked man, a naked person fighting me. You know, there's nothing like, there's no other, this is like the worst nightmare I have ever had. Dude, like a crazy person that's butt naked, like coming after you to fight, like barehanded, like, you know what like a psychotic rage, like, "Rah!" And they're butt naked. Cause guess what? The listeners know, you don't know. Guess what? They got nothing to lose, motherfucker. They clearly have nothing to lose. They are going to tear you limb from limb. And that's where the alpha gets me. That motherfucker, his fucking dick is hitting his knees as he's running. It's crazy. That guy's gonna murder me. Kidding me? That's
The
fucking
alpha
crazy.
thing, I don't know. It was just like, if I have to gripe, if I'm forced to gripe, um, the the alpha, it was a little goofy. I don't know that I loved the alpha, but again, Danny Boyle, I'm following your lead, baby. Like, do whatever.
Well, I thought it was just so funny because it really is. I mean, here's the thing though. Like, again, like 28 Days Later is just one of those ones where it's like, just enjoy it. Like, who the fuck cares? Like,
Yeah.
no movie was good. Like, what did you want? Did you want like the exact same thing as 28 Days Later? Because it would have fucking sucked. It would have been dog shit. It would have been so fucking bad. Everyone would have been like, whatever, it's the same thing, or been like, they ruined it. They might as well have gone in like the way crazy direction they wanted to and just been like, let's fuck around. Like, let's fuck around in
Yeah.
this little fucking sandbox we have right now. It just, to me, I don't know. I loved it. But the things they kind of like were like, nah, we're not doing that anymore. This is what we're doing. There's alphas with big old hogs running around. Oh, but the corny thing, that's where I was going with it, was like one of the things that really stood out to me at first was the alphas ripping creatures' heads off,
Okay, I literally was just gonna touch on this, and then
spine intact,
is that
like the
their
Predator.
thing? Because I feel like it happens a few times, right?
Dude,
Or is it
I was laughing so hard at one point in the movie because, like, to myself, not out loud, because I was like, this is so funny. This is like a video game. Like in video games, there's classes of like baddies, right? But they all have like the same move set. So you're like, oh shit, here comes like the big fat guy that does this move to you always. But there's like a million of them throughout the game. That's like what alphas reminded me of. They were like, alphas are different because their dicks touch their knees and they rip your head off. And that's
were
it. That's their only move. That's the move they have.
did you have to have a foot-long dong to become an alpha, or did you get a foot-long dong after becoming an alpha?
Well, it's very clearly a prosthetic because you could see you could see where the penis was and then where the prosthetic, which had no flap to it whatsoever. So when he's running, it's just like going like it stays straight the whole time. It's not loose and floppy. It's so fucking funny, just bouncing off his thighs. It's fucking nuts. But I don't know, because all the alphas look the same too. So it's like
Yeah.
it's a very weird fucking thing that they did there. And then there's like the runners, and then there's the sloppy little piggies who, like, some of them have like their eyes sewn shut, it looks like, but
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
it's just doing whatever the fuck they want. It's so
Yeah.
fucking weird. It's so fucking weird. I fucking love it. Um yeah. Yeah, so the movie takes a turn where the son needs to get his mom to a doctor. So he brings her over to the mainland without anyone knowing, which everyone is very upset about. And because he saw his dad cheating on his mom, which really sends him over the edge. So he goes to get his mom help to visit this weird doctor who is on the mainland. But literally everyone's like, hey, that guy's fucking nuts and is not a doctor. And he's like, my mom needs a doctor. Come on, mom, the doctor's over here.
Wait, but what's the there's something personal. Oh, because the dad saw the doctor doing like weird shit
Yeah, the
before.
dad saw him burning bodies and was like, it's fucked over there. Like, he's like burning. He had all these people's bodies, which, like, dude, like, it's the end of the fucking world. Who gives
Gives a
a
fuck.
fuck?
Yeah.
It appears they're already dead. Like, you're gonna be mad. Like, even if this guy did kill 400 people and was burning them, hey, not my fucking problem, man. Like,
First thing I'd be mentioning was the fact that he was orange.
yeah, that would be a big one.
And then the bodies for sure.
The orange guy, the orange fellow across the lake.
He looks
So
like
they
a
go
fucking
to
Lorax. It's crazy.
Dude, he is the Lorax. And he speaks for the bones. Yeah, Ralph Fiennes plays this doctor in this movie, Dr. Kelson. And they get to him. And so I'm going to preface this with a little story. So I haven't gotten high or smoked in a very long time. The other day I was like, let me give it a whirl. Had a great time again, as usual. During this movie, I was like, I'm just gonna hit a little hit during the movie. I got a little hidden like one hitter thing, no smell or anything. Accidentally took way too big of a hit in the movie. It was minutes before this movie transformed at the halfway point into the saddest movie about cancer that I've ever fucking seen in my life. And I was more high than I've ever been in my entire fucking life. But like that might be a stretch, but legitimately like 20 years. Like it's been like 20 years since I've been this fucking
28
high.
years.
28 years later, baby. No, that was crazy. And I was like, am I even watching the same movie? What movie am I watching right now? Because it turned into this crazy emotional drama. It was unreal
Yeah.
and heavy. A doctor is delivering this kid news that his mother has cancer and they don't even have medicine. This is fucking nuts. And by the way, let's also take a step back here. When they meet this guy, they see his bone tower, his statue of bones up in the... He's taken everyone's bones and built fucking sculptures out of them. All the dead people that he was burning.
Iconic.
Very iconic. And he is explaining this to the little boy, Spike, and is like this part of life, like death is part of life. Like this is what this is. Gives him a fucking skull he just cleaned, which was another insane scene. And he's like, put it on the tower. It's like an honor. It's not a fucking creepy thing. It's an honor. This motherfucker makes this kid put his mom's skull on the fucking bone temple, the bone tree. More fucking props from this one.
At the very top.
You know what I couldn't help but think about? And sorry, mom and dad, if you're listening to this episode, but when he's like, give her the best spot on the tree, I just assumed he'd like put it somewhere arm's reach, you know?
Oh,
But he
he's putting
climbs
on
up to the top, puts
star
puts
on top of the Christmas
star on
tree.
the
It's like,
Christmas
what
tree.
are we doing?
But by the way, if that were my parents, I'd be like, and again, mom and dad, no offense, it's just pure laziness. I would have been like, right here's fine. I can see it.
Literally.
It's a
Like,
good spot.
you're getting set. Maybe I'll get on my tippy toes. Like, I don't know.
I would probably do the weird, like, feigning, like, as if this is a really good spot. Like, talking myself into it. Yeah, that's a pretty good spot.
Well, it's a little okay, so he's like, she has cancer. And then he's like, no, it can't be. And she's like, I suspected I had cancer. I should have told you. And then all of a sudden she's getting euthanized. And
Yeah.
it didn't seem like that was well established. Like, if I were the kid and here comes the Lorax being like, memento mori, I'd be like, what is she fucking do with my mom?
Well, they shot the kid with morphine first.
Right.
So I think that's why there wasn't such a reaction and allowed him to process it. Although I don't know, dude. If an orange man was like, "I'll be right back. I'm taking your mom behind this fucking," I want to say shed, but there's no shed. Behind this bone shed, my bone shed. I'll be right back, and then came back with a skull. I've got a pretty good idea of what has occurred. How he cleaned it that fast is another question.
It's crazy. I don't
It
know. I mean,
It was
it
wait, I gotta tell you, say this too. It was like when they do a cooking segment on a talk show and they like put it in the oven and then immediately pull out the done tray.
it's exactly what it was.
He was like, "I'll be right back," and then just walk back seconds later with the skull, being like, "Huh?"
And fucking when the Swedish guy's spine and skull, which why are they carrying that? Isn't the kid carrying that? And then Ralph is like, I'll take that.
Yeah, I guess they were carrying that, but no, because he. Oh yeah, I guess they did take it. Oh wait, no, he
Ra-
took it from the Alpha. The Alpha was carrying it.
oh yeah, because they have like a
I was like, that would have been nuts. Why was little Spike carrying around this?
cohabitate. They cohabitate. He's like, yeah, he comes around sometimes. It's like you just were able to get morphine in him and he was subdued immediately. Why aren't you killing him?
Chop off his fucking head. And then the fucking Alpha comes back and is like trying to murder him. So you think for a moment that like, oh, this guy thinks that they can somehow be rehabilitated or something, or just be left alone, you know? No, they can't be. And this guy, the Alpha wants to kill this guy more than anything.
Yeah, because they took his baby.
They did take his fucking baby.
Yeah, this movie's really fucking weird.
It's so fucking weird. So there is a zombie that gives birth. We did talk about that. So you have this big segment about cancer. It's fucking brutal. Dude, some girl was sobbing in the theater.
All right, well, that's unhinged behavior.
I heard her. I felt so bad. But I was like, again, I was like stoned out of my mind. I was like, this can't be fucking real. Like, what am I fucking watching? But don't worry, because things get way more fucking outrageous here. Because, so now the kid has no mom.
Just
He
a
has a
skull on
baby.
top of a tree.
A skull on top of a tree and a baby. And Ralph Fiennes, after they get attacked by the Alpha, Ralph Fiennes immediately looks at him and is like, you gotta go. Which was such a crazy reaction because the kid actually saved him. I mean, I think we're supposed to presume that the kid kind of accidentally led him there.
Yeah.
But like, Ralph Fiennes was about to get his head ripped off. The Alpha had his head in his hands. And then he gets saved by the kid and he's like, yeah, you got to get the fuck out of here, man. And like packs his fucking sister in a fucking basket and sends him on his way.
So, dude, first of all, okay, Mama's brain is like rotting. She delivers a zombie baby. Sure. Kid's getting fucking tossed immediately. I don't give a shit. It's like, what do you mean? I'm not fucking dealing with this. Like, this is the last thing I fucking need right now.
I mean, it's a little bit of like that Quiet Place thing, right? Where everyone is sort of just like, well, you know.
Chuck it immediately. Like, my mom delivered a baby in that situation, I would be like, "Oh, let me hold it," and just toss it out the fucking train window. The fact that everyone was just, like, down with that baby's fucking crazy. And also, because Ralph is like, what does he say? He's like, "The placenta is a magical place, isn't it?" Or something weird
Yes,
like
yes,
that,
yes.
which confused me because isn't it like some babies are, like, born addicted to heroin or, like, positive for with AIDS, so it's like, how is
Correct.
this baby
Hey,
fine?
no, it's not. And guess what? Danny, there's only so many times I could be like, yeah, fuck it. Danny can do what he wants. We're getting to a point right now. We're getting to a breaking point, Danny, where you're starting to lose me. Because now you're just saying shit out loud where you're like, hey, what? I would have rather them not even mentioned it instead of Ralph Fiennes be like, the magic of being a baby and not taking on anything from your mother. It's incredible. Like, it's like as much as you might as well have just said that. You're like, huh? All right. But the little boy, Spike, brings he appears to be going home, but instead he drops the baby off with a note to his dad. All right, Dad, got I got unfinished business over here. I'll come back when I'm ready. That's an Australian. uh, uh, her name's Isla. Her name's Isla. Like me mum. Like me mum. Take care of her.
What would you
I
do?
love that he was also like, by the way, she was born from an infected. Like, hey, don't mention that because they're not keeping the fucking baby if they even
Again,
say that.
tossing it. They for sure kept it though, and, like, what would you do if it were James?
And he did that?
First of all, why didn't the dad go to the mainland? They were there for, like, several days.
Well, there was that weird thing, which hey, you know what? I'm starting to think Danny Boyle's a fucking idiot, but it's fine. Just because I like the movie so much. But it really makes no fucking sense because I feel like now that I'm saying this, he like baked in these like half-cocked reasons for certain things.
He
And one
didn't
of
make
them
it a single half cock.
that is accurate. That is accurate. Except maybe the Slugman. TBD, we did not get to see that because they just roll around. No, so the only thing I could think to explain that is earlier in the movie when the boy and the dad go out together, the woman at the gate is like, "Listen, you know the rules. You can't go out there to look for somebody else." Which is a fucking
Oh.
insane rule because eh, they they took the baby in. They would have let the kid come back in. The dad runs out after the kid at one point. You let him back in. So like what is that rule though? But like what does that rule mean? I don't think
Yeah,
that rule is real.
you can hunt for sport, but you can't go, like, check on your kid.
Right. But and like why like what does that mean? Like I would just be like, okay, I'm gonna go hunting today. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? It's the
Ye
dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard. But yes, you are correct. He's been gone for several days, and the dad gets the note, freaks out, tries to run over there. But yeah, no, I'd be over there in a fucking second. Terrifying, but I'd be over there in a second. They also did introduce these people that were shipwrecked that land on shore. So we do get to see outsiders entering this world, and you think that this is going to be a setup for later films, but they're all killed. So
Wait, when was that?
that's how the Swedish guy got there
Oh, okay, yeah.
and that team. So anyway, this all leads to the boy going back to the mainland to like survive on his own. Like he's like, I'm just gonna fucking. I think he wants to go further in and like see who's out there or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Terrible fucking idea. The kid sucks. The kid's not very good at anything, and you know. So he goes out there, and this is the very end of the movie. And you're like, okay, we're getting back to this 28 Days Later feeling. You know, the zombies chasing after him. It's pretty cool. He runs, he finds a wall of rocks. He can't get over it. The zombies are coming. And our boy, Sir Jimmy Crystal, shows up, the leader of the Jimmies. As
Fun.
Should we
The
explain what the scene looks like or just start talking about it?
Can we? You know?
All right. This is like major spoilers here for this ending, which I don't think anyone cares about. Okay. So this guy shows up. Bleach blonde hair, gold chains, tracksuit.
Okay.
Eaten. And he's like, got a gold tooth. And he's like, hey, you need some help? And the kid's like, I forget what happens. They have a little exchange. And the kid's like, yeah, I want your help then. Then all of these.
Wait. What he says is something more to the effect of, mind if we take over? Just like that.
Yes, that is correct. And then again, just a reminder, I've never been this high in my life. And I was like, this is not fucking, like I'm hallucinating. This is not in this movie. This can't be in this fucking movie. And then
deliriously high for that is like the funniest thing I think I've ever heard in my life.
I was laughing so hard at the end of the movie because I was like, that is so funny that I did it right then. Right at those two moments to be like, what the fuck? This just turned into a cancer movie, and then what the fuck? It turned into the pancake scene from fucking Cabin Fever, because all of these bleach blonde ninjas in color-coded jumpsuits start flipping in the air and landing and killing the zombies and fighting the zombies.
Doing like parkour and karate, and there is like insane sound effects and music. I'm not even kidding. Listen, my exact stance at first, it evolved, but I was like this. And then when they started doing karate, I was legit leaned over in my seat, like belly laughing. And I like don't laugh in movies that often. And it's not like dude, I was so caught off guard that it was just like happening. Like I was just laughing because it was like, what the I was so fucking perplexed that all I could do was like laugh about it.
Yes, it was unreal. Unfucking real. Now, this is super weird. Well, actually, I'll tell the funny thing first. The Jimmies, now we were introduced to them earlier because we had seen somebody that was strung up and had the word Jimmy carved into its chest and had like a plastic bag put on its head. It was fucking wild. And like if you look in the background, you could see Jimmy carved into the buildings and stuff. So something's going on there. You kind of think it has something to do with the dad, but it doesn't. Now, the Jimmies is a group led by, as I mentioned, Sir Jimmy Crystal. The rest of the Jimmies' names, they have names. They were in the credits. There is Jimmy Snake, Jimmy Jones, Jimmy Fox, Jimmy Shite, like shit, but the British version, Jimmy Shite, Jimmy Ink. I'm going to say this incorrectly, but it's Jimina, the girl. And then my favorite one, Jimmy. And they are a cult, presumably some type of group together. Now, what's really fucking weird though is this entire thing, and American audiences are very confused by this. This is all based on this guy, Jimmy Savile, who was an icon in Britain. like TV DJ, like he was like one of the most famous people in Britain, ended up being a rapist, a pedophile, and possibly also had sex with corpses.
Ooh.
And was this public figure, like was out and about in public and famous in Britain. And this all came out, I think it came out after he died. He died in like 2010, 2011. These guys are based off of him. They are guys
Okay.
he made them to look like it. And so I've read different breakdowns of it where they were like, well, Jimmy is by the way, Jimmy is the little kid we saw in the opening of the movie and survived. That's why the upside down cross, that was the cross that his dad gave him.
Okay. Well, the thing is, I missed most of the opening sequence, so it probably would have stuck a little bit harder.
You were probably so red-eyed, angry during the part you saw where they showed that you probably did not absorb anything for the first 10 minutes.
That was me in the theater.
Oh, shit. Oh, man. Yeah, so, but yeah, he based these characters on it. So, but I guess the thought people are saying is like, well, this started in 2002. So this was before any of that came out. So you could see, the implication is like Danny Boyle was doing it to be like, to kind of show how obsessed with culture people are, where they were hanging on to these nostalgic cultural things from the past. So in this world, this kid Jimmy was like, I love Jimmy Savile, and this is going to be my cult, the Jimmys. And we're all going to dress like Jimmy Savile, which is fucking insane.
That's us with Pee Wee Herman.
That is true. But
We'd
however,
be the Pee-wees.
we're in bow ties. You want us to take care of this for you? Can we step in? And all being like, ha! Pee Wee Lexie, Pee Wee Sean. You just put Pee Wee. But you'd have to like do different words. It can't be your name. It's got to be like Pee Wee Vegan.
Well, what's so fucking funny about, and I don't know what was happening in Danny Boyle's brain, but as an audience member, when you hear the call from behind the rock wall, your heart starts to flutter thinking, is it Cillian?
Oh, yeah.
And that juxtaposed with what it actually is so startling. It's actually fucking crazy.
And Danny Boyle is quoted as saying that the Jimmy scene he was obsessed with. And that's when he was like, I want to make this movie. This is what I want. Because he said the Jimmys is what brings it back to horror. And I was extremely confused by this statement because the first half of the movie is one of the most suspenseful, tense fucking 45 minutes I've ever been in a movie. And like so effective, like I'm like, this is a fucking horror movie, man. This is a fucking zombie movie. The Jimmys, they were like, he's like trying to paint this as like just like in 28 Days Later, the most dangerous animal is us. Oh, humans are the worst. That's like what the Jimmys are supposed to represent. But to me, I was like, I don't know, man. They seem like they're just killing fucking zombies.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, what fucking movie am I thinking of? Oh, what? Is it? No, Night of the Living Dead. How they're like lynching the zombies and shit. Like, I got that feeling where it's like sadistic, you know? But
A little bit
also,
more than usual, yeah.
they're fucking rage virus zombies. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah. And they seem pretty impossible to kill. So if you can find a group of people that can do it pretty efficiently, which they do,
Kicks
when
and
they
spins, baby.
they like get one up, they like one of them strings one up, and like two guys, like it was like the mechanics on like a NASCAR pit stop. They like strung him up. There was a bag tied around his head in 3 seconds flat. That is a well-oiled machine over there. They don't fuck around. They bag them and tag them, baby.
It's
Holy
so
cow.
crazy to leave the movie on that note.
By the way, end of movie. I was floored. And it really, I had to, for the first time. Sometimes you're like, I don't know how I felt about that movie right away. But it's not really like a thought. You just got to like kind of sit with it for a minute and be like, yeah,
Yeah.
obviously I like it. This was one where you literally had, when I was like, I have to think about it for a minute. I had to like go into my brain and be like, do I like this movie? Is it good? Like, what was it? What the fuck was it that I just watched? A+. A fucking plus.
So, if I'm being honest with you, the whole movie, I wasn't like, oh my God, Sean needs to see this. It wasn't until the last scene that I was like itching to text you. And it was like as soon as the credits started rolling, I was like, I need you to fucking see this.
It was awesome. It was awesome. Good call. That was definitely Sean Core at the end right there. That was just let's just throw this fucking thing in here. I don't understand what the hate is about it though.
I mean, I see one of the top on Letterboxd, people are pretty loving of it. Like, I think I've seen more positive reviews than negative ones. I've seen the main thing on Letterboxd, the top like negative one I saw was that it was more of a family drama than a horror film, which I don't agree with.
What?
I don't know.
What? Yeah, but in that sense, like 28 Days Later is like kind of a fucking drama thriller. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like it's really not a zombie movie, 28 Days Later. It really is that like look at like, oh, the humans are the fucking worst thing in the world, not these fucking
Right.
bloodthirsty creatures. Very much the theme of that movie. So, I mean, I don't know. Like it's weird. I think I said it last week. Like it is kind of an art film, like 28 Days Later. And then this one kind of
Isn't
call it that, I guess. But it is in a way because they were like, hey, we're gonna film on iPhones. We're gonna give a dong in every shot, a dong for every boy and girl in the land. We're gonna give a dong too, and we're gonna throw this crazy emotional story into it, and then also we're gonna get the parkour karate people.
last thing I wanted to touch on with you. So I'm always so bad at articulating this, right? And especially when I was watching 28 Days Later today. Obviously looks like shit. And there's not CGI happening. It's whatever. I don't think there's CGI in 28 Years Later. I think it's all practical people. You know? But the zombies in this one just look like shit.
I did not love the way they looked. They all have like long hair now, which I guess I guess their hair grows. I guess they're not dead, right?
Who fucking knows?
How are they surviving? You know what? Maybe this movie sucks. It's not the movie though.
But it is like, I don't know. I just fucking, and I don't know what it is because I'd be willing to bet. Obviously, the zombies themselves aren't CGI, but it's like the way that the filmmakers now digitally enhance things just fucking like kills it for me. Like, just
Yeah, I
fucking
get
look
it.
at what put this guy in the fucking movie. You know what I mean? And have him run it. That's fucking scary. You want to put like pixelation and like digital effects to make him look like weirder? No, this guy looks like a fucking freak. Put him in the movie. Like, I hate how generated a lot of things look now when it's like something like that they didn't need to. They're scarier if they look more human. They look less scary in 28 years than I think they looked in 28 days.
Yeah. Well, you didn't see a lot of their faces in this one.
Yeah, for sure. But it's like, I don't yeah, I don't know. I did not love the way they looked. It was driving me a little crazy where it's like, come on, like what the fuck? Stop digitally enhancing everything that doesn't need to be. What?
Nothing. I'm just laughing at it. It's funny. The little slob kebab ones, those were a little weird.
It's all weird. Like, I don't know. But I did really like the movie. The look of those that wasn't great for me. But I feel like every fucking movie nowadays is victim to that. It's just everyone wants to fucking digitally enhance shit in post, and I don't see the point of it most of the time.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. You didn't see their faces. I don't know. The faces in the first one are so distinct and like crazy looking. Like we really didn't even see their like red eyes when they're coming around. You know what I mean? That was kind of not not uh not enhanced.
No. Yeah, I don't know. Enough of the digitally enhancing shit.
Enough with it. So
And
anyway,
it's
that was 28 years later. Oh no, Billy Baloney's turning.
I'm never taking these eyes off of him.
No, you should not. Oh man. Anyway, hey, head on over to Letterboxd to my my Letterboxd account and like my Rubber review. It is on fire. We are climbing the charts.
Wait, what is happening right now?
I'm number 13. I'm number 13 most popular review of Rubber from 2010.
How many likes you got?
94.
Okay.
I get one like once a week. It's really funny now. And it's my favorite review.
Listen, not all of my Letterboxd reviews are bangers, and I don't review a lot of movies. I posted this on my story when it happened. When I saw A Woman in the Yard, there's a doodle in it. It's very prominent in the movie. And doodles are taking over Hollyweird. And so my Letterboxd review for Woman in the Yard was DGA stands for Doodles Guild of America. I thought that was a heater. And I had a dream that everyone was like loving it. Like it was part of my dream. And I woke up and there were no likes on it. And I was like, God damn.
Lexie, that joke fucking sucks. I'm sorry. That joke is fucking so stupid.
Take it back.
Heater.
Take it
Calling
back.
that a heater. Doodles Guild of America. Everyone was probably like, I don't think you looked like one of those like those like Facebook screenshots of grandparents that like post on their Facebook wall what they're trying to search. So it'll be like casserole recipes. And they like
Your
post it to their own
your skull's getting tossed on the fucking ground.
People were probably like, oh, she didn't mean to type that. What does that have to do with it?
No, that one was good. The thing I don't love about Letterboxd is when people are like trying if it you can tell
Oh, I
when it
know.
didn't come organically.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like you just know.
Yeah. I hate that, and I hate like the super serious ones too.
Literally. Sometimes give me a good if you take Letterboxd seriously. First of all, seek help. Second of all, if you're going to like review something, give me 2 sentences, get
Yeah.
to the point, give me a positive and a negative with your rating. That's what I want.
Yes. Like some of these reviews are fucking huge. Like on Rubber.
Yeah, no, it's
Rubber.
fucking crazy.
it's so wild, like, trying to explain, like, and then mine was, I don't know, man, it's a fucking tire that kills people, I'm fine with it. 2 stars.
That one's unfunny too.
Dude, I'll replace it. Wait, I'm gonna re-review it and write Doodles Guild of America. Actually, I'm just gonna write that as my review for every movie moving forward.
I think my best Letterboxd review, this is so ugly. I'm going through all of them right now though, and I think this is my best one. It's for Wolfman 2025, and it says, "Look at me, period, next line, lay, period, next line, look at me, period. Don't listen to what they're saying about you, period."
It's pretty solid. I'm
2
okay with that.
likes. 2 likes. What are we doing, guys?
I got a bone to pick.
That's me,
All right,
Letterboxd.
guys, that's it for this episode. We'll have a Patreon coming soon. We'll do the Shark Month. I know we've been saying that. We've been putting it off, but we'll have one very soon. So stay tuned for that. Go check out 28 Years Later if you haven't. You probably haven't listened to this if you haven't. But anyway, I say go see it. Oh, you know what? By the
Also-
way, I thought about this. Sorry. 2 people left the theater during our screening also.
What's going on?
I don't know. It was weird. And they left their drinks too. So I was like, oh, they're coming back. And they did not come back.
You guys are fucking soft. Like, what are we doing? I've never walked out of a movie no matter how fucking terrible it is.
I walked out of one
What?
movie in my entire life. I think it was the Max Payne movie with... Actually, I could text my friend and find out. I can't remember. It was Max Payne with what's that fucking idiot's name? Mark Wahlberg.
I've sat through some real big stinkers. So if you guys are fucking walking out of 28 Years Later, sack the fuck up. If I can sit through like Trapped, you guys can get through 28 Years Later. It's pathetic.
It's coming in hot.
I finished Scream 6. Like, what are you guys fucking doing?
Oh, coming,
what I mean?
coming at him.
Yeah, fucking. But I am curious. DM us. Don't get super into it. Just tell us if you liked it or not. I like seeing people's reactions to this movies.
I like getting people's honest feedback. Everyone puts up a front on the internet because, everyone's saying it sucks or whatever. DM us. It's anonymous. Tell us what you thought of the movie and be honest with yourself. Look in here. Look in here. Look in your heart. Look in your heart and say, did I hate that movie? Or am I still thinking about it 3 days later?
Do, 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 do.
And that's it for Hollyweird. Patreon.com/IHateHorror, where you can get the bonus episodes, live shows, the giveaways, this new sticker pack coming soon, which I'll be dropping that by the end of the week.
Should we make another one with zombie Billy Baloney that says I walked out of 28 Years Later?
Of course. I walked out of 28 Years Later, and it wasn't even because of the thing everyone's talking about.
Don't make the longest sticker. I walked out of 28 Years Later. This is kept on John Hughes.
I walked out at 28 Years Later because I love that the end of the show is now just pitching stickers, because I'm pretty sure this is how we ended last week with the John Hughes sticker. I walked out at 28 Years Later. This will be our bit. Come up with a sticker for each episode. I walked out at 28 Years Later. Fuck, what can we do? Something about somebody's hog.
Hard as a rock.
I walked out at 28 Years Later because my hog is so much bigger than Alpha's. I was embarrassed for him. Some people call me Alpha. I don't know why they do. They just started doing it after that movie. It's fucking weird. Oh, what if we do break? I break for Alpha's huge hog. This car climbed Alpha's huge hog. That's a good one. I like that one.
We need to just start an actual sticker company.
I mean, we'd probably do much better. What if we make the little kid pissing and it's on 28 years later?
I mean, classic.
It's a classic. But I don't condone
That's not
that,
how we
so I don't wanna
feel.
do it. Yeah. No.
But we should
Peeing on
Photoshop.
people that it says people that left. People that left 28 years later early, and it's the little kid pissing.
I'm gonna probably make this and post it on Instagram, but we should redo the Lorax cover, but put Ralph Fiennes instead of the Lorax on it,
Oh, that would be really fun.
which I'll probably be making and posting on Instagram within the week.
I am the Fiennes. I speak for the trees. Anyway, I speak for the bones. Anyway, that's it. Patreon.com/IHateHorror. IHateHorror.com. We got some merch there. Lexie put up the sick Toby Hooper directed Jaws shirt up there. So go grab that. And Instagram at I Hate Horror. We're doing giveaways. We're doing all sorts of fun stuff over there. And
We're famous.
We're famous. We got all sorts of stuff going on, baby. All sorts of things in the works. And we might have a very tasty interview coming up soon.
Ooh, I can't wait till we end this recording. We have to
It's
have a
off
little
the
bit.
radar. It's off the radar. It's off everyone's radar. You won't think about it. You won't even, you might even see the name. You might go, I don't even give a shit. You will. I'm telling you, you will.
If you see an interview come up in the next week or two, make sure to listen to it.
Yeah. It's
grab your girlies.
I will tease it by saying a lawyer had to get involved. And that's not even a fucking joke.
It's just Joe.
We're allowing Joe back. What's that? I'm not comparing Joe to R. Kelly when I say this, but it just made me think of this. What's that R. Kelly interview where he's like, I don't even know how to hog tie anybody. Do you know that clip? Have you seen
Yeah, is
that?
that supposed to be Joe?
No. But I was like trying to think about like what famous interview. I was trying to think of a famous interview where I could like plug Joe into it, and that was the person that came to mind. But that doesn't work. So that's not a shot at Joe or anything. I was like trying to think of famous ones, like famous interviews that I could compare it to, where Joe would be like spilling the tea. But anyway, no, it's not Joe. Joe is not lawyer.
Be sure to tune in. No,
it's our guest's lawyer.
Be sure to tune in
because our questions were getting so hard hitting.
I'm so excited.
I am too. Should be good. Watch it be the tamest interview of all time. Because we have not heard back from the lawyer, so it's a very good possibility. We're not allowed to ask any of the questions we want to.
I don't even think that'll matter though. Like even if the lawyer is like, yeah, you can't, I think we still will be talking about it.
Yeah, 100%. And then we're just gonna have to edit it out after, and there'll be a 5-minute interview.
We post it on Patreon unedited.
Maybe I would like to offer that. I feel like I'd have to give it like a year before I did that, but yeah. We'll see. Anyway, that's it, guys. Thank you so much. For Lexie, this is Sean. Stay Hollyweird, baby. Shark Month.